Okay. Not a lot of silicon, again, but we see that I keep losing when I try and monopolize silicon in a situation where it's not a viable thing to do. We can also look around and see there is a carbon location available if I want to go scavenger, which is kind of tempting, actually. Not a huge amount of carbon on this map. It's not a great carbon spot, but it's a usable one, I suppose. And so we can try it and see how it goes. Whoa, already a found. That's interesting. Usually people will not do that so much these days. It's dropping so much faster on this map. I don't know why it drops at different rates on different maps. Like, the debt falling off is not consistent in any way from what I've seen. I don't know why I'm buying into so much aluminum. I don't need to be doing that. There you go. That's better. Sell a little bit of iron before it tanks. Herbert still hasn't actually found it yet. 2 expansives down here, I guess, is fine for us.
Expansive colony founded.
Okay. Let's see. Carbon and aluminum should both be coming in at a reasonable pace, and another expansive colony did found. And he's actually just grabbing the high silicon right now. That was half the reason I founded when and where I did, was because of that silicon. That's annoying. I'm still going to take some, I guess, but oh man, that hurts. I really needed that tile. Alright, we can't even take good water from here. We can take this water, I guess. That's fine. The water's not even really strong at this stage of the game. I'm just concerned because there's not very much of it anywhere, honestly. Purchasing from the black market is a little risky, but I guess I'll go for 1 claim. Then I can maybe just take this aluminum here. Claim auction is fine, I guess. But from this point, I'm just kind of looking for glass. I could throw down a glass furnace again. I've got silicon coming in. Oh, if someone founds, the debt probably ticks down faster. That's an interesting thing that I would absolutely hate, actually. That would defeat half the point of founding early, it feels like. If that were the case. Like, that would defeat most of the point of founding early, and that would really make me mad, actually. That seems really, really dumb if it were to be true. Alright. So I think I'm going to claim this geotherm here.
Expansive colony expanded.
So the question is, do I put down a geotherm, or do I just buy glass in the moment? I think I'm going to try and get the geotherm down, but I'm kind of nervous about it. Because I do need to be able to purchase glass right now. Since I went for the geotherm, I need to be able to get to 40 glass so I can get to an upgrade and start actually making money somewhere. Because this is just how I play scavenger. Even though it's probably a terrible way to play scavenger. I like to try and secure high value resources on HQ level 2, which I failed to even get that tile built. Not that it matters all that much. Like, I like to secure long-term high value resources on HQ level 2 if I can pull it off. And then use that to get to HQ level 3, barely. And then at HQ level 3, start actually making some reasonable amount of money. But it doesn't always work out. And in particular, this game, it was never going to work all that well because Herbert is in this game. And Herbert just took water and silicon in HQ level 1 before I did. And so that kind of hurt a lot, actually. And changed my plan. Should have changed my plans so that I did something else and didn't. Alright, pirates spotted. That's weird, because nothing is really worth a lot right now. I would not have spent cash on pirates at this stage of the game, if I'm being honest. So my next upgrade will probably just be 3 reactors instantly. Farm's a bit more valuable than reactors, but reactors far easier to push into. So that's why it'll be reactors instead. Power is being not... Yeah, this guy already has 2 solar panels, but if that's it... I guess he also just doesn't have many steel mills. Like, there just isn't a lot of steel production going on. Everybody was more concerned about doing things like securing silicon and aluminum and all kinds of stuff like that, rather than making steel, so power isn't spiking in quite the way you might expect it to. Hopefully that'll make reactors a bit more valuable once I've actually gotten to an expansion, though. Which I'm waiting on the expansion at this point because I need to be able to actually put down reactors. This is weird. I have no idea how to value this on this map. It does hurt my reactor play regardless of who gets it. But I have no idea how to value this. I think it's worth that. I think. I don't know if it's worth 36. I have a really hard time letting this go. Trying it. Alright. That was probably a terrible decision, but I did it. It's done. Can't change it.
It may not be the prettiest looking upgrade, but damn is it.
See, I still can't even put this down. I could sell down some aluminum to put it down, but it feels weird. Feels really weird to go ahead and do that. What I'd like to do maybe is move my aluminum tiles into food. If I can pull that off, it'd be nice, I think. I do have enough water, so these will kick on regardless of the fact that I have no cash on hand. There we go. One claim left. This is why I'm tempted just to convert all three of these into food for the moment. The other option is to convert them into glass. Food looks a bit more valuable. Glass is easier to get into. Those are the ups and downs here. This guy's already in food, but if it's just one guy in food and he's really struggling to get into it properly, then maybe that's okay. As you can see, the reactors, as soon as those come online, I am instantly pulling in cash. So let's just get on out of these and into that food production. And then hopefully from here, I'll be able to actually make some use of the black market. Oh man, a glass surplus. Dodged a bullet there, let me tell you. Adrenaline boosts are available, but so are EMPs. No Goon Squad, despite the fact that EMPs are here, because only one thing that can actually defend. Interesting. Interesting. Alright. Well, we do have the option of just adrenaline boosting our food for a decent amount of money. My concern about that is I could just instantly get EMP'd. So instead, maybe I just buy a claim. I'm scavenger. Claims aren't bad. I have teleportation even, if I need to move stuff around later. I do need to be a little bit nervous about debt long term. I think I'm pulling in that 10% rate right now. Yeah, I'm on that 10% rate right now. Could upgrade, going to. Let's see, chems are okay. A hacker array is fine. I can't buy a hologram. I don't have the cash for it. I can't buy a hologram. There it is. I can't buy a hologram. Okay, it was just blacked out. Let's grab a little more carbon. Let's check Offworld prices as well. They're okay. They aren't great. This is going to be a weird game to try and figure out. I'm going to go ahead and grab maybe just 2 more waters. Water's not good now, but it's going to be going up because a lot of people are going to be trying to get into those water resources. In general, I could go for a hacker array. I could go for an engineering lab. I could go for a patent office. All of these are options. I'm thinking the engineering lab. I don't see an obvious thing to hack besides carbon. And I don't want to hack carbon because I don't need this. Why did I bid on that? Just because I didn't want to let it go for 5,000? That's pretty much the reason. Would you guys please bid on this? Thank you. Alright, good. Okay, so here's my thing, I guess. I don't want to hack carbon unless I'm going for a buy, because I want to just keep upgrading, right? I want to just keep upgrading. Is all I'm trying to do right now. Aluminum is super cheap. Glass surplused, which is a really good reason to just keep going for upgrades, because they're going to be cheap for the time being. And so I don't want to hack carbon at all, unless it would be to surplus it, but I don't really want to do that long term even. Man, I'm still not actually pulling in enough water to cover these things. That's crazy. How are they doing? They are still making money. The electrolysis, not so much money, but I can convert that into chem labs fairly easily, especially if I'm going into an engineering lab. I guess I can do that old school beta 4 play of engineering lab into chem production. That's also going to cut into my carbon, frustratingly enough, and slow down my upgrades to some degree. But as long as I'm making money off of it, it's going to be okay. Just make sure we're making plenty of money so we can get those upgrades done. Pulling in a nice amount of water. Plus 18 on the farm is fine. Let's see. Is anybody pulling in a truly ridiculous amount of water? I'm not seeing it. Somebody might be sitting on a stockpile, but they might not. I'm not really sure. Probably not a bad idea to go ahead and grab up the glass at the moment that I'm going to need. Still not thinking about pushing into an Offworld immediately, but prices are so cheap, I might need to move into an Offworld regardless at some point. I really should be using the black market more, like some of this right here.
Pirates. I hate those
Very
filthy
doable.
bandits.
Very reasonable, I think. Well, reactors are pretty solid again, and farms really aren't. Because that water price just won't stick. But I'm not going to transition out of my farms. Because I'm not sure this is true. It might be partially artificial. That's an engineering lab. That's fine. Let's go ahead and actually hologram this tile. Now it looks like a hacker array. Take that. I would love an upgrade. There it is. Now, aluminum's super expensive, so I'm just going to go ahead and transition now into a bunch of that and then figure out what to turn it into actually later. What I can do is go ahead and go into some reactors. Obviously, see the water price recovered instantly as I scrapped. It's just people who are able to pay more attention than I am. But tell you what I'll do is go ahead and... Okay, somebody else is adrenaline boosting, which means there's less stuff available to target me with, which is good. So I'm just going to do some of that, and then wait, I guess. Now the question is, how do I make money long term? The answer still seems to be off-world market, in some ways. Water is just ridiculously cheap now, that kind of sucks. Because I don't see prices sticking high. Of course I get frozen. I am HQ level 5. I shouldn't complain about that, but it still feels bad. There. I'll be a scavenger. From here on out this game, I will go ahead and be a scavenger. Okay, I have 2 claims left I really should use for something. One of them, I guess, could go into a chem lab, but those are probably losing me money right now, despite their upgrades. Let's see, what would I want to send off-world? It would probably be food is what I want to send off-world. I guess I could upgrade carbon, I could upgrade food. None of them really look all that good in a lot of ways. I don't really want to turn off or get rid of these chem labs yet. I have 2 claims left. What to do with them is the question. I could go into more reactors. I'm just taking too long to make these decisions. Could just go reactor right here. The problem is there are EMPs available, which are really painful, quite frankly. Dump one there because that guy's HQ level 4. I guess I could just make some food for the time being. Just food. Yep. EMP all over my body. Shouldn't be any real surprise. We're just going to go through a phase of EMPs wrecking everybody, it looks like. And then maybe from there, we'll actually get to do something this game. 105,000 for an off-world. That is just so expensive because of carbon. One day, I'll pull in aluminum. It's going to be a brilliant day. Bradbury's actually going for some stock buying on Clark, which I guess is understandable. I've been ignoring them most of the time. Probably not the best idea. Of course, there's a surplus on aluminum. Why wouldn't there be a surplus on aluminum? And power has actually gone a little crazy. But we would need to, what? Scrap what? Our chems? To put down some solar panels? Is that okay?
I hate those
We've just been sitting on this geotherm the entire time. Yeah, okay, fine. Well, the aluminum now needs to turn into something else. It could also just be electrolysis. It is kind of frustrating not having access to a... I don't know why I boosted the aluminum. Not having access to a goon squad right now, but whatever. On the bright side, it makes this off-world much more difficult to attack. Let's grab a hologram.
You shouldn't buy this and use it on an enemy. That would be mean.
Oh, great. That tile's now frozen. Great. Alright, a power surge, though. That's kind of interesting. Could get a lot of work done. Alright, and I picked it up for almost nothing. I'll take it. I'll take an almost nothing cost tile. Sure, fine, whatever. Let's see, this aluminum is still $33. I'm still getting frozen like crazy, but once again, that really shouldn't be a surprise when I keep adrenaline boosting. So what I'm going to do this time is boost my carbon out, because that's super valuable right now. And I could maybe try and get to 2 off-worlds and try and make that work. Nobody's really threatening to actually succeed at a buy anywhere, so it looks like it's time to start buying up my own stock. To some degree. This is all kind of awkward, but whatever. I never put this hologram down. That's a problem. Well, silicon jumped up, So we'll sell that down. I've just been sitting on those 2 silicon tiles all game. They've effectively been wasted. Not how you want to be, really. And another option, I guess, that I have is to get out of this aluminum. I know it's good right now, but some of it's frozen, and it's just kind of awkward. And start trying to move toward... Actually, electronics production is a good option right now. One day I won't be EMP'd forever. That'll be a brilliant day. I'm super looking forward to it. It's not today, though. Just one day. Shortage on glass hurts a little bit. Man, my power. I cannot make enough power because I just keep getting EMP'd. It's crazy. So I'm upgrading electronics production, which means I need to put down electronics production at some point. The plan was to maybe get rid of this aluminum and go on into it before long. Shortage on water helps, I guess, since we have a ridiculous amount of that. But first I have to stop getting frozen. And then I can manage to do all these other things. So I'm tempted to grab that last 30,000 EMP, because after that it starts getting... Oh, Herbert's actually really close to buying us. Terrifying. That was the wrong option. Let's send fuel for the time being and then just pay attention to it. Well, we didn't take advantage of that water short at all, unfortunately. Let's just keep buying our own stock. Herbert's doing a good job over here of getting things done, I suppose. I could go ahead and boost these. Am I seriously not making enough power? I thought I would... Oh, because there's a dust storm going on. That's going to contribute. Of course there's a dust storm going on. Why wouldn't there be a dust storm going on? So I probably should have boosted the... I don't think about the fact that the center boost is double the other boosts, and that's kind of causing me problems right now. I almost certainly should not have boosted my power. It was just kind of a gut reaction to, I don't have enough power. I'm going to boost my power. Not an actually good idea. We should have moved out of this water a long time ago and on into something like glass, because water is $1 anyway. The silicon we could even scrap out of and have moved that into our power. I'm just not thinking things through today, guys. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I think... whatever. It's fine, I guess. Alright, the Offworlds are launching. Fuel is still fine to send. There's an oxygen shortage on the way, which is kind of awkward, but whatever. I guess we'll buy into that. Not a big deal. Adrenaline boosts are getting expensive. EMPs are getting expensive. I still kind of want that last EMP if I can pull it off before long. Good, here come the launches still. Actually getting something done. They are boosted launches, so I shouldn't be a real surprise that, you know, my launches are coming in, but whatever. One more Offworld would be nice as well. If I can push into a second Offworld, that would be pretty brilliant. No spy available, which sucks. Mules are available, but mules aren't really helpful this game, from what I can tell. Let's see, do some of that, do some of what? Some of this? It opens me up to an EMP pretty heavily. But I can defend myself from EMPs by throwing them at other people to some degree. Nobody's making chems. Chems are pretty good right now. Just shut down right there, I guess. Electronics are amazing. Like, I don't regret making electronics in any way right now. These solar panels, on the other hand, like all this, I guess I can turn into chems. Because I've already upgraded those a fair amount. Maybe that's okay. And then we start buying into Herbert, or Brad. Actually, we should be buying into Bradbury, really. See what we should be buying into. We already have ourselves completely secured. It looks like Bradbury might be able to... Whoa, water. Might need to get out of the glass and on into water before long. Magnetic storms hitting that aren't on me, which is really nice. I've been shutting down Herbert pretty hard this game because he's been on HQ level 5. But the other two have been doing a lot of stock nonsense, so I really should be paying a bit more attention to them. Electrolysis, not so good. Electronics are still fine. My Offworlds are not both launching. We need to fix that, that's for sure. And what was that? A glass surplus? Alright, that decides it. Do I have a D rating? I actually have a D rating. Kind of wish that rating was a little bit more prominent. Oh well. I just want to be able to adrenaline boost. How much do I have to pay so I can actually adrenaline boost? Where's that line? There it is. We'll wait until the auction's over. I don't really want that. Actually, my debt's too high. That's disgusting. That claim just went for 8,000. That's disgusting. Alright, whatever. Well, the electronics are doing really well. I still kind of want to boost here. Here? Here. Because launching fuel looks really, really good right now. I do wish it could kind of extrapolate how much in the moment the Offworld was making. It's really hard to judge that most of the time. And maybe that's part of the point, but it just feels awkward to me. I don't want to move these around yet. I am pulling in a lot of water. I guess not a lot of water. 5 a second is not a lot, but it's a fair amount of water. And I should really be buying Bradbury stock. I think we've got this, if I'm being honest. Oh, I wanted that last little bit of Herbert stock. He actually just gave me a bunch of money, so I guess that's fine. With any luck, we'll be okay with all these boosts going on as a scavenger. Hopefully, I can get to this buy. We're just going to do one of those. Almost there, almost there. Next boost should do it. Unfortunately, I can't transition into my aluminum because it's where my electronics are. But maybe I can steal somebody else's aluminum? Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. There it is. That should fix my stock rating. Or my bond rating, whatever you want to call it. I can maybe buy one more adrenaline boost if I really, really want to. Kims are losing money like crazy. Get on out of those. Into what? More electronics? Electronics are really strong. Turn those back on. That's why I didn't want to scrap. And let's see what I just acquired. Food is fine. Steel's whatever. Did I get any aluminum with that purchase? Doesn't look like it. Looks like I got a lot of water for the most part. Which I guess is okay. We can buy Clark in just a moment here, so that should be fairly straightforward. There you go. That should be, what? Is that still no aluminum? Is that why aluminum is so ridiculous this game? Do I need to actually scrap these? Well, I'm pulling in some from somewhere. Where is it? I always forget to check my... Okay, yeah, this aluminum right here is what I'm pulling in. It's not a lot, but it's something. I also have a bunch of claims, so we're just going to throw some out that way. And we're going to throw some right there. And Herbert, where are you... What are you up to? Let's see. I could Magnetic Storm. Don't really see the need for that anywhere. I think we've mostly got it with these off-world launches. Let's see. Another option is to do something real stupid. And just do some of this. I'm wondering what happens in this circumstance, actually, is why I'm doing it. We're going to upgrade. Both of them should be about the same. That gives me some new claims. Well, that's too expensive. I'm just not doing it. Carbon's ridiculously expensive in the moment, so whatever.
Look at all the money.
Let's see. Still have fully upgraded electronics. There we go. That'll help. And I should actually pay attention so I don't just randomly lose the game to a guy who is already stocked up almost $500,000. So maybe we just leave that tile there and don't put down the other off-world that I wanted to do. Because it's way too expensive. It cost me $150,000. It's not happening. Okay. The off-worlds are still launching fuel, which is certainly a terrible decision. Let's go ahead and launch some food next. I really want to be able to just click this button once and have it do a single send without me having to buy up the food, by the way. That would be kind of nice. 7 claims remaining, which I have not yet used. Let's see what I could do with those. I could just really fast throw down a couple iron mines. Should be fine. And maybe even glass furnaces right there. There you go. They're all used now. Hopefully we can just sit back on the off-worlds and win the game. Don't really want to buy any more in the black market. Don't see a lot of use for it, except for maybe a mule on water. If there was water to mule. Okay, he's at 62%. We actually have to pay attention. 562 is what we're pushing through. 529, I guess, is what we're actually looking at. 524. This is still a serious game. Have to pay attention to it. Alright, turn off the food. That's gotten to be garbage. Pull in the water, hopefully. Should help out. He's had to turn off his food as well, which is fantastic for us. It's exactly the kind of thing we're wanting to see. And that's going to be the game. Did I spend 50k to grab an adrenaline boost? I thought I spent 30,000 for my most adrenaline boost. Maybe I was wrong. Hey, adrenaline boosts are amazing. Okay, so that game was kind of weird because honestly, I was able to just sit in my corner and do my thing while everybody else seemed to not be able to do that to any degree whatsoever. I don't know what was going on with steel, where these guys just didn't seem to have enough steel to upgrade. I guess it was a very weird game. Because nobody was keeping up with upgrades except for Blues, right? And I shut him down completely. Like, almost all of my black market, if not all my black market, went over here. Because he was the only one getting through upgrades. Oh, yeah, 50k on debt. Yeah. 50k total. Yeah, no, it was fine. It was totally worth it. Hey, it was an adrenaline boost on Offworlds that did not get shut down. So there's that, right? It's totally worth it. Don't worry about it. So yeah, that's one. I have that replay saved off, obviously. I may go through that one just to figure out what happened exactly to the expansive players, because that wasn't even close. Not even a little bit. I think part of what happened was our green player here got aggressive, so that would have been BE, got aggressive on Red Sparrow here. And that caused issues for Red Sparrow. Like, completely, clearly. Caused issues for Red Sparrow. And that was because Red Sparrow was having issues all game, though, from what I saw. He was stuck back on, like, HQ level 2 for a real long time. I'm going to have to look at that one in depth, guys. I can't give a good overview of it, because all I did was my standard scavenger play. Blues went for the really awkward stuff at level 1 of going for, like, water and then into the high silicon. I don't know if that really paid off for him long term. And then we did that at level 2. And then level 3, we just moved into 2 sets of buildings that made a ridiculous amount of money. And then we skyrocketed from there, right? Because Blues plus myself, we together had tanked water. So moving into that water production was fairly simple and straightforward. He was trying to do the same thing, but I think the big difference between him and myself was I think I was doing it on HQ level 3 and he was doing it on HQ level 2. So what I ended up having room to do was go into reactors first to then leapfrog into food from reactors, whereas he had to just try and get into food directly. And I think you could see that it was lagging at first. Like, he couldn't quite get into all those food buildings at the same time very quickly, and it hurt. Yeah, Blues. That's kind of what I saw. Was iron and steel were not particularly pretty that game. Which was weird, because it seemed like there was some iron. I guess the other two just got to the spots before you did. Like, Red Sparrow in particular founded pretty early that game. I'm going to have to experiment with what Qubit said about maybe debt falls faster when people have already founded, because that's actually disgusting to me, if that's true. If that is the case, that, oh man, that would make me really mad, actually. But, alright. I don't know what to look at for that game. I may go over that game and figure out what happened to them and what they could have done to avoid it, because that was a stomp. And it shouldn't have been a stomp. Alright, guys. That's going to wrap it up for today.